We are live in 3, 2, 1.
A family is displaced from their home after an early morning fire.
There's an opportunity to do a meaningful tax cut.
The 2019 legislative session kicks off with a call for huge tax cuts.
The cold is just starting.
People all over the country are bracing for a big chill this week. Welcome to Newsline. It's January 29th, 2019. I'm Amy Hamilton.
And I'm Maren Klein.
Make sure a warm jacket and hot cocoa are within reach.
Bitter cold temperatures will blanket the U.S. over the next few days. John Lawrence reports.
Cars stuck on icy roads, long lines in the Piggly Wiggly, and snowblowers working overtime.
Just trying to get the first round done, and second round will be a little bit later.
A winter blast has a grip on much of the United States.
I had planned to do a bunch of work today at work, but, it's Minnesota. It happens.
Roughly 220 million Americans, about 75% of the population of the contiguous U.S., will have temperatures fall below freezing over the next few days.
The cold is just starting. So this will be at highest level throughout the whole week, dealing with the weather increments and making sure that the people of the city of Chicago, that their safety and their security is our #1 priority.
The big chill will hit the upper Midwest and Great Lakes area especially hard. Forecasters say temps will drop between 20 to 40 degrees below freezing. Wind chills could fall to 60 below. Even areas not used to frigid temps are preparing. In Atlanta, city officials are getting ready for the Arctic front and the Super Bowl.
We've made additional investments in equipment to help clean our sidewalks and keep our sidewalks de-iced.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp has closed all state offices for Tuesday. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Just an hour ago, Ben McAdams' replacement, Jenny Wilson, was sworn in as Salt Lake County Mayor. The Salt Lake County Democratic Party chose Jenny Wilson to serve as mayor after Representative Ben McAdams won his race for a House seat. Wilson leaves her position on the Salt Lake County Council to take on the role of mayor. She will finish out the last 2 years of McAdams' term. She then plans to run for re-election.
Utah's 45-day legislative session began with a call by the new House Speaker Brad Wilson for record-setting tax cuts.
Well, the governor proposed a $200 million tax cut, and as we were looking at kind of where we're at, we recognized that there was a $220 million tax cut about a decade ago.
The Utah Taxpayers Association confirmed that a tax reduction of this size would be the state's largest. It would top the roughly $220 million cut spearheaded by former Governor John Huntsman in 2007. Some Utah lawmakers are seeking to avoid expanding Medicaid. Utah's Proposition 3, which fully expands Medicaid throughout the state, passed in the November election. Those state leaders say they plan to implement Medicaid expansion, but want to make changes to control costs. However, those changes could delay the expected April 1st rollout for months and leave Utahns without health care. With national parks reopening, visitors have already started their sightseeing. Taryn Reed has more.
Chris and Dawn are passing through South Mississippi en route to Florida.
We're kind of on a long road trip, and we've been disappointed about the shutdown and some of the closures of the national parks, but we were very happy when we came in here that it was just opening.
The Wisconsin natives are enjoying some warmer weather, and they're doing it at Gulf Island's National Seashore.
We were like right at the gate just about noon when they opened.
Nearly a dozen people booked at the national park. It's the first visitors the park has seen since the government shut down just before Christmas.
I saw the sign up the road, and I thought I've always wanted to see this National Seashore.
John Chambers is traveling from California, also to Florida.
Today we got lucky. We have been affected by the shutdown. We tried to go to White Sands National Monument in New Mexico, and that was closed. And we also tried to go to the George H.W. Bush Library near Houston, and that was closed, even though the George W. Bush Library in Dallas was open.
About a handful of park employees and volunteers are officially on duty. Those employees collecting a paycheck once again. They got word on Sunday to report to work on Monday. It's music to their ears after more than a month without pay.
It's been a real struggle for them. I can't even imagine what it would be like.
And the park maintenance didn't skip a beat during the shutdown. Volunteers manned the grounds. Reporting in Ocean Springs, Taryn Reed.
Salt Lake police say the death of a University of Utah doctor on residency was a murder-suicide. 27-year-old Sarah Hawley and her 30-year-old Travis Geddes were found dead in their home Sunday. Police came to the home after a neighbor called because she heard a woman screaming. Police say it was a domestic violence case. Police believe Geddes killed Hawley and then killed himself. They have not said what weapon was used. Hawley had recently begun her residency at the University of Utah School of Medicine.
The man accused of shooting and killing Provo police officer Joe Shinners made his first court appearance. The suspect, 41-year-old Matt Hoover, appeared in a Provo courtroom yesterday. He is charged with evading police and the murder of Officer Shinner. The court granted him 3 defense attorneys. Prosecutors have not decided whether they will choose to consider this a capital case. They say there are other factors that could push it to a death penalty case. Hoover was given no bail and will appear in court next on March 4th.
4 people are displaced from their home after a fire erupted there. The fire started around 11 a.m. yesterday at 636 Chester Street in Ogden. According to firefighters, the flames appear to have started from an SUV in the carport, then spread to the home. All 4 people in the house were able to safely get out at the time the fire occurred. The blaze caused around $60,000 in damage.
5 people are safe after the plane they were on made an emergency landing in the Wyoming desert. The plane was near the Southwest Wyoming Regional Airport when it made the emergency landing because the aircraft was low on fuel. All 5 passengers were successfully rescued by a helicopter from the site and taken to the hospital. Among those rescued was a pair of 2-year-old twins and a newborn baby. The Sweetwater Sheriff's Office says no injuries were reported.
Orem City is turning 100 years old. Newsline reporter Natalia Pennington shows us how the city has grown over the years.
The city of Orem has a lot of history that has helped Orem become the city it is today. The community is celebrating those 100 years of success.
The city of Orem is turning 100 years on May 5th, and people who live in the city are celebrating the milestone. The festivities kicked off with a party on Saturday where a limited edition 500-piece puzzle was designed by local artist Eric Dowdle. But the city started putting the pieces together 100 years ago when it started as the fruit capital of Utah.
Started as an agricultural center. We were just growing fruit, and it was just a place of farms. And then Geneva Steel came, and then we became a very industrial city. And then as that went away, we became a very technological city. Tech companies started moving here. Lots of technology was developed and invented here. And then now we've kind of transitioned into a retail hub.
The city is named after Walter C. Orem, who didn't even live in the city, but his trains transported fruit to markets around the region. This was vital for the success of the community. Businesses and education contributions like UVU also helped the development of the city. Part of the celebration of these achievements will include a book on the 100 years of Orem history, a new song by David Osmond, and more events. Kenna Matthews, born and raised in Orem, says that there is something special about the city and is excited for the activities to come.
Summerfest has been going on for almost close to 100 years in different forms, but we will be amping that up a little bit. We'll be having a longer fireworks show, some more activities we haven't had, with a lot of things based on the centennials.
To find out more about the festivities of Orem City, you can visit 100.orem.org to see what events are coming up.
A body camera captures a man being rescued from freezing Lake Michigan. We'll tell you more of the chilly rescue and tell you how the man ended up in the icy water.
A New York City woman gets stuck in an elevator. We'll tell you how she ended up in the elevator and how long she was stuck for.
The FaceTime app on iPhone could be used to spy on you. We'll tell you how many people are able to eavesdrop on your conversations with the app and what Apple is doing about it.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look,
President Trump accepts an invite from Nancy Pelosi to deliver the State of the Union address on February 5th. Pelosi formally invited the president in a letter after the two agreed on the date in a conversation on Monday. The address was originally scheduled for January 3rd, but was postponed due to this government shutdown. A former advisor to President Trump is scheduled to appear in court today. Roger Stone will be put on trial for 7 criminal charges, including false statements, witness tampering, and obstruction of justice at a U.S. federal court. Federal prosecutors claimed Stone lied to congressional investigators. He is expected to plead guilty on all accounts.
California's Pacific Gas and Electric, one of the nation's largest utilities, filed for bankruptcy. The company is facing up to $30 billion in liabilities after 2 years of California wildfires. The state is currently investigating the utility. PG&E feel that filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy is the best way to deal with their high liabilities. A woman is rescued after spending 3 days trapped in an elevator in New York.
No, oh my God, that's scary. She's okay?
The woman, who was a cleaning worker, got trapped on Friday and did not get rescued until Monday. The New York Fire Department says the elevator malfunctioned and the woman became trapped inside the elevator between the 2nd and 3rd floors. After being rescued, she was hospitalized, treated for dehydration, and released.
A unique experience allows you to explore the stars with friends without being outside.
Why the BYU Planetarium is becoming a hot attraction on Monday nights.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. A major Apple FaceTime glitch lets you eavesdrop on conversations before you join them. I'll tell you more about how to avoid the glitch.
And I will tell you which part of the U.S. might experience negative 60 degrees wind chills this week. Coming up.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Two people are dead and 5 officers injured after a shooting in Houston last night.
Houston officials are calling it a very tough day for the city. Police say more than a dozen narcotic officers were on the scene last night after a neighbor came forward saying he thought drugs were being sold in that house. The police chief says immediately after opening the door, the officers were under fire by the 2 suspects in the house.
We are sick and tired of having targets on our back. We are sick and tired of having dirtbags trying to take our lives.
A SWAT force took control of the scene and robots were sent in. 2 suspects were shot and pronounced dead at the scene. 1 officer was taken by medical chopper from the scene. 2 others had to undergo surgery. 2 of the officers are in critical condition.
The Tanner Building at Brigham Young University is being remodeled. The university plans to enclose the atrium with glass. The BYU Campus Planning Committee approved the renovation after a student committed suicide by falling from the 4th floor of the building last December. Renovations are currently underway to replace the railing with glass walls. Work on the new walls has started on the 4th floor. The area is inaccessible between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. Those in the area at that time must go outside to get to the east and west sides of the building. Construction is expected to finish in April.
The planetarium on BYU campus is proven to be one of the most exciting places in Provo on a Monday night. In the Eyring Science Center, people buy tickets and form lines for a very enthusiastic showing of the universe. Professor Jeanette Lawler says the show almost always sells out. The show speaks for itself as an entertaining and educating way to spend a Monday night. People come with family, friends, and dates to enjoy the animated presentation of the universe. Tickets for big groups are offered online at planetarium.byu.edu. Apple users may be eavesdropping on your private conversations without your knowledge.
Savannah Hegerhorst is here to tell us about the glitch. Savannah?
You may want to disable your FaceTime application on all of your Apple devices.
A newly discovered Apple bug on FaceTime allows users to listen undetected and possibly access camera footage on the people they are calling. This significant bug has spread virally over social media. The Apple bug is activated when a user starts a FaceTime call. While the call is still ringing, the user can swipe up from the bottom of the screen and click Add Person. The user can add their own phone number to the call, allowing the user to be able to hear the microphone from the other device, even if the owner is nowhere nearby. Apple customers are concerned about their privacy. This tweeter expressed, "Now you can answer for yourself on FaceTime even if they don't answer Apple." Apple explained this. Apple CEO Tim Cook tweeted, "On this hashtag Data Privacy Day, let us all insist on action and reform for vital private protections. The dangers are real and the consequences are too important." This Apple customer responded to Tim Cook by saying, "It's better you guys worry about delivering a product or app with necessary privacy. We as customers expect quality and security at the price of products you are selling, which Apple is lacking now in its products. It's a shame," Tim Cook. Apple promises an update by the end of the week, but until then, my FaceTime app will definitely be disabled. Back to you.
Chicago police come to the rescue of a 33-year-old man who went into Lake Michigan after his dog.
The dramatic rescue was all caught on video. Sarah Schultz has more.
Trapped in 34-degree water surrounded by ice walls, seconds counted as a 33-year-old Chicago man desperately waited for help. On Sunday afternoon, he took his 9-month-old dog, an American Eskimo mix, to Foster Avenue Beach. The dog ran off and fell into the lake. His owner jumped in after him. The man was able to rescue his dog, but he couldn't get out. He managed to call 911, as did a passerby.
We saw the dog come over the ridge. So, at that point, we're like, there's a dog, he must be over there. And I think that's when he heard us, because then he started yelling, "Help me, help me, help me."
With quick thinking, Sergeant Alex Silva grabbed the passerby's dog leash to rescue the victim.
He was standing in water up to about chest high, but he was numb. He couldn't hold anything, and he couldn't climb out. There was no way to climb out. It was just sheer ice.
Silva threw the leash to the man. Behind Silva were 5 other officers anchoring themselves on the ice to form a human chain to prevent Silva from going in.
There was just no time. I know that in cold water, the time that we got there, that this guy's not going to last a few more minutes.
Body cam video capturing the moment the victim was rescued.
You're good. Thank you so much.
He said a number of times, "I would have died. I would have died." So there's no doubt in my mind, had not been the officers been in the right place at the right time, coupled with great teamwork and smart thinking by using the leash, we would have been having an entirely different conversation.
Police say the man was treated at the hospital and has since been released. As for the dog, police say it is also in good condition.
The polar vortex is bringing life-threatening temperatures, and the coldest air in more than 2 decades will blow through the Midwest. The extreme weather has forced schools to shut down, and more than 3,480 U.S. flights have been canceled. The National Weather Service is warning people to not be on the road if necessary. As we can see here, we can see that the purple and the blue is the cold air, and it's bringing in snow and lots of rain and cold air into the Midwest. But here in Utah, we will see some, it's pretty clear and not a lot of rain coming in. So as you can see, for today's highs, we can see that in Salt Lake, it's going to be 42 degrees, 39 in Provo, and 59 down in St. George. Up in Vernal, it's 31. Going to our lows of the days, we will see that Vernal only has 7 degrees, so pretty chilly out there. 26 in Salt Lake, 19 in Provo, 31 down in St. George. So it's not that cold. But going into the southern Utah forecast, we will see that they will experience 60 degrees, pretty warm, and as low as will be around 40s. But on Saturday, it will be pretty rainy. For the northern part of Utah, we will experience some sunshine, finally, and then into the weekend, we will see some rain and then some snow showers coming in. However, it won't be that cold. But I do feel sorry for those in the Midwest that will experience that cold. But we will have some good luck here up in Utah.
I'm so glad. Finally, Utah's warmer than anywhere else in the Midwest.
I know, it's a miracle. Shedding off the layers slowly but surely.
Yeah, good for
especially in January.
Absolutely.
I am so ready for spring, though. It is. Oh, thank you, Carmen. Coming up, 2 BYU sports teams made some moves in national rankings. See where the men's volleyball and women's basketball teams ended up in this week's rankings.
I don't know. What do we do about the haters? We love them.
Also, we'll show you the best from yesterday's Super Bowl Media Day.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters? Don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
BYU's men's volleyball team moved up to number 3 in the national rankings this weekend. The Cougars moved up 1 spot in this week's rankings despite not even playing in any games. BYU sits at 4-0 on the season with wins over Ohio State, Ball State, Penn State, and St. Francis. The Cougars trail 2 other undefeated teams, Hawaii and Long Beach State, in the rankings. The Cougars will take the court again this Friday and Saturday to take on UC Santa Barbara, who is ranked number 9 in the AVCA rankings. On the women's side, the BYU women's basketball team cracked the top 25 rankings for the first time since 2012 yesterday, coming in at number 25. The Cougars are currently riding an 11-game winning streak with a 17-3 record, and also sit on top of the West Coast Conference with a 9-0 record. The Cougars weren't the only local team in the top 25, however, as rival Utah sits at number 14 in this week's rankings. The 18-1 Utes gave the Cougars one of their 3 losses this season in a 78-67 loss in Salt Lake City last month. BYU will travel to Southern California this weekend for West Coast Conference games against LMU on Thursday and Pepperdine on Saturday. The countdown to Super Bowl 53 began last night as the media got first access to the coaches and players of Sunday's big game. Here's a look at some of the best sights and sounds from last night.
What sort of advice would you give this guy as he gets ready to take on the big bad Patriots?
Not giving him any advice.
I don't really watch TV. Only thing I watch really is SpongeBob.
I thought I'd be a skill player. I used to try to play running back, but I said I ate my way out that position, so.
I like Chick-fil-A. It's a good spot. It's one of my, top cheat meals if I'm going to go that route. It's Chick-fil-A.
That's pretty good. What is this?
Can you buy me a shark?
If we win, I'll buy you a shark. Yes, Mike.
His arm is still strong. He's still the GOAT. He's still the legend. That's what I want to get across.
I don't know. What do we do about the haters? We love them. We love them. We love them back because we don't hate back.
Do you want to play past this season? Wow, that's a tricky question. You're trying to get around. Like you're just trying to get some answers over there, baby.
I just can't see you with this beard. His beard is doing something to me. I'm sorry. I'm just off bad. It don't look right, man.
I actually shaved 2 days ago.
Stop.
Just grows back.
Will you shave if you win? Will you shave?
I got you.
You got me? All right. Appreciate you, man.
No more questions. This is great.
The Rams and the Patriots will meet at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time on Sunday. We'll be right back.
Truth is, I'm impressed. I haven't been asked such intelligent questions in a long time. Nice.
These are cool. Did you, what did you...
What?
A French urban climber was arrested after scaling a high-rise building in the Philippines. The man is Alain Robert, known as the French Spider-Man. He was caught on camera scaling the 700-foot GT International Tower in Makati. He could face charges of trespassing or public disturbance. Robert is no stranger to high-profile danger, though. In 2018, he climbed a 750-foot London skyscraper with his bare hands, while police waited patiently to arrest him the entire time. In fact, Robert has been arrested around 170 times in his 20-year career. Wow,
amazing.
What a career.
I am scared of heights. I would never be able to do that.
Really?
My career.
Hey, but if you were to recreate a superhero, who would you recreate?
Probably someone from Black Panther, the Warriors.
Black Panther? Oh, that's awesome.
Wonder Woman.
Oh.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today for Newsline.
For more information on our stories or to share them with your friends, check out our website at universe.byu.edu/Newsline.
Have a great day.